Hi guys, and welcome to Visual Basic tutorial of Advanced Payroll Management System with an embedded Microsoft Access database. Now, all the information that we have in here belongs to Tony Montana, okay, and that's a payslip. So the reference, everything is right. But let me show you guys the database. Open up the database. That's the database there. Inside the database, there's not a single data save on the table yet. I'm going to have to close that. Once the database is closed, I'm now going to click on add new data there, and it's telling me the record is saved. So let's click on OK. Let's open back the database. Open it back and let's see. Open up the table, and right in there, that is Tony Montana's details. So I'm going to close that. Now let's start work with a new tutorial. So I'm going to exit out there, and I'm going to click on create new project. I will select Visual Basic here, but make sure your template is the Windows Forms application.net. I'm going to click on next. Let's give my project a name. I'll call that VB underscore payroll underscore system, and click on create. Okay, my development environment is ready. I'm going to make sure I select the form, open up the properties, and I will then change the size of the form to 1386 by 800. And right underneath here, you see where we have start position. I'm going to get that centered. Click on that and change that to center. Scroll right down, and where we have Windows state, I'm going to change that to maximized. The text, instead of form 1, I'm going to change that to payroll management system there, and that is it right there. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go straight into my toolbox here, and let's look for label. Grab that label, just drag it that much. I'm going to go straight to the properties of this very label, change here to about 48, and let's see how that's going to look like. Change that to 48, bold there, and I'm going to change the back color of that. I'm going to change it to cadet blue. Right above that is auto size. Change the auto size to false. The border around it, I'm just going to leave it as normal. I can now drag this just like that. That is fine. Then the next thing I want to do now is select the text, make sure it's selected, scroll right down, and let's change the font in there to payroll management system. And let's get it centered. Right below it, select align, get it centered. That's it, done. Go back to your toolbox, drop this down, and let's look for panel. Just drag it down. I'm going to increase the size of this. Let's just come right down here, make it about 900 plus, and I will then go back into the back color here. I'm going to change the back color to cadet blue as well. There we go. Now grab hold of another panel and just draw that here. And now you see this very one, I'm going to change the color back to control. There we go. And this one that is changed back to control, I can now copy it around. Now just copy this, hold on to the control, click and drag underneath there, scroll right down and just reduce the size of that. And I'm going to copy it again, bring it here, and over here let's copy this one, copy, bring it here, right there, something like that. And I'm just going to drag it that much, copy this, bring it over here, and drag this one right down. Change the color of this very one. I want to change that to cadet blue as well. That one is sorted. Now let's copy this very one, hold on to the control, click and drag one here and reduce that about that much. Come right down. I will need about 3 more. Reduce this, copy, and there we go. And that is that taken care of there. And in here I'm going to add rich text box. Let's look for rich text box. There we go, that is it. Click, drag and take it right up. Just somewhere there. There we go, something like that. And select that very panel. That very panel, I'm now going to add tool strip, this very one. Just double click on it, and that's the tool strip there. I will come back to that tool strip soon. Okay, very good. Now let's add some buttons. Let's come in here, grab hold of a button, draw it here. We have one. We don't need 5 of those. Okay, there we go, we have enough room. Let's start from the top here. I'm going to get hold of label, grab hold of a label, dump it right there, change the size of that very label to 20, make that 20, bold, there, and copy that very label. We have 2, we need about 6 of those. It's going to be about 7 here. There we go, and 1 right here. Then we need 1 here. This very one, we're going to change this, change the appearance of this. Auto size, change that to false. Back color, I'm going to change it to white. Border style, I'm going to change it to fixed single. There, you see, it looks like a text box now. Okay, so let's get rid of the text content in there, delete. Now the rest, we need text box. Let's come down here, we need a text box, 1 text box here, change that to 20 as well. Right, and we can now copy this text box here and here. Then right here we're going to need combo box, 1 combo box here, change the size to 20 as well. There, and this very combo box, hold on to it, copy and drag it here. There, that design is done. And here we need labels. We have one here, 2 and 4. Very good. And here we'll need 2 labels, 1 and 2. Underneath, that will just be 1 here. Bring it down. We need 1 more here and 1 right here. And here we need 4. Select all of these. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 4 here. There. And right here we need 3 labels and text box, 3 text box here, and just copy there. And that is everything done now for the design of the interface. I just need to change the names, but before I go any further, let's come in here. You see the tool strip, click on that, drop it down, select button, and that very button when I want to change the image, I'm going to grab hold of an image that I have. I think I have it in my download. Let's go straight to the download. There we go, VB images or image. Double click on that. The first what I need is that would be for new. Click on new. There we go, we have new there. And the next one, let's go for open. Another button, grab hold of the image and let's go for open. There we go, we have the open, and let's save. Add a button, go to the image, click on the image and save. Where's the icon for save? There we go. Now let's add a separator there. 1 separator, 2 separator. Now let's add print. Another button, come in here, grab hold of the print. Let's come right down here, print. There we go. Okay, now add 2 separators there. 1, 2 separator, 2. Now I need to copy. Add a button, come right here, grab hold of that. Let's look for copy. That's copy. There we go. Okay, click on the button again, or select a button, click on the image, and let's look for paste. Yeah, that is fine. There, the next one, let's look for cut. We want to cut. Button, and we need to cut. Import. There we go, we have a cut. Very good. Let's add 2 separators once that one is sorted. 1 and 2. And right here, and I want to add a label. This label, I'm going to use that for dates. Right, so we can just call that dates. There we go, or maybe LBL date. So I just changed that to LBL date, so that is fine. There, that is everything taken care of. I'm going to kind of like run it. You guys see how the whole interface looks for now, though it's not ready yet. So let's just see how that looks like. So far guys, this is how it's looking. Nothing is happening so far. Nothing is happening. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start work with the naming of each of these components here. I will have to speed that up because of time. So select the very first one here, and I'm going to change that to pay reference. there. And if that is pay reference, you have to move this back a little bit. Let's go back in there. If that's pay reference, this one is going to be CBO pay reference, just like that. Okay, this one I'm going to call this wages or wage reference, something wages, something like that, reference. And the text, the label there will become LBL wage reference, and so on, guys. So I'm going to speed up the naming and we'll take it from there. Okay guys, I've finished up with the design of the interface. There's just one more thing I want to do. Select this, see where we have the city within. So I'm going to add some value in there, and it's aligned right. Repeat the same thing for this other one there. Okay, now I'm going to run it and just show you guys how. Before I run it, let's do one more thing. I'm going to need the save dialog, the print, that save form dialog. Double click on that. That is it. That is the dialog. That's the object for the to strip that I have up here, and this is for the save. And I also need the one that we open. Okay, I need print documents. I also need a print preview. Then I need open file dialog. Okay, those are the dialogs you will need. Open the file dialog. Let's move that here. That is with the save. That's it here. Save dialog, open dialog, then the print document object, print preview objects. Select the print preview object, go straight to the properties where we have the document, drop that down and select print document. Alright, that is taken care of. Let's run it and you guys see how the whole interface look like. So you just follow the naming convention based on the names that I've given to each of those labels. That's what you would call either the text box or the labels. Here I have, they are all text box here. There's two combo box, the rest of them as a text box, text box, text box. Any one that I can write on, that's a text box, text box. This one is a label. Label, 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 label. All of these are all labels, and these are just text box. And you've seen how I change this label. And here, this is a combo box. That's a combo box, and this is a combo box as well up here. Okay, based on the name on the label, that is how I've named each of those components. Alright, and here, that's BTN payment, BTN add new, BTN pay reference, BTN reset, and BTN exit. So if I come down here, you can see all of the names. BTN exit, BTN reset, BTN pay reference. So have a good look at the names right there. This one is BTN add new, BTN payment, and that is it, done. Okay, let's start work with one of the easiest one. Double click on exit. Right, so inside the exit, what I will do first is I'm going to declare as follows: dim I exit. You can call it whatever you like, as dialog result. There. Now I'm going to enter try catch in there. What the try catch does is just check to make sure there's no error. However, your code will have to be between the catch, the try, and the catch here. The catch underneath here, that's where you will enter your message, error message. So the first thing I'm going to say is I exit. That is equals message box dot show. and in there my message, I'm going to say confirm if you want to exit. That is my first argument. The second argument, that's going to be, I will just call that payroll system. That's just for the title, and enter another comma. Next argument is going to be a method, message box button dot yes or no. And the fourth argument is going to be an icon, message box icon. I'm going to make that icon to be a question mark icon. There, that is that done. Then come right down here and use the selection statement. If I exit equals dialog result dot yes, then application dot exit. That takes care of the exit. However, we want the message that will be displayed if there's any error. I can copy all of this message, paste it right here, and just change it to EX. So this one, get rid of all of this. The first argument there, EX dot message. So the EX dot message, that's the inbuilt error message from within the system. This is just a title, and this is going to be my message box. I'll change that to OK. And the error message here, I can just change this one, instead of question mark dot, that's going to be error. And that takes care of my exits there. Alright, the next one we want to take care of, let's see, let's come down here, let's take care of, let's do one thing before we do the other thing. I'm going to need a database. So the database, I need it to be inside the Server Explorer. So let me show you guys the database. I've already created the database in Access, and I'm going to copy the database that I intend to use. That is it right there. I call it payroll. Double click on payroll, and the database is coming up. And if I right click on the database, that is it right there. Creating a database is not difficult. That is it. Those are the fields that I intend to use. In total is 23. Those are the fields. Take it from the top here and bring it right down. There. I haven't added any primary key, but if you add a primary key and you enter the data, if you duplicate the data, the system will give you an error. So I'm going to leave this out. The choice is yours. If you want to add a primary key, if you want to add a primary key, all you need to do is right click on it and just select primary key. That is it right there. But I'm going to get rid of that primary key. I don't need it. Okay, these two, they're taking numeric value. This takes in string character, okay, and all of these other ones from the city waiting up to NI payment, that is currency. Then period of payment, that's number, and here this is just string character, short text, and from taxable up to net pay, that is currency. Okay, that is the database. So I'm going to close that. I'm now going to copy that same database. Just right click on it, copy, and paste it inside my program here. That's my program, just dump it right in there. So I'm going to be making reference to that very database. So the database is within the system now. The next thing we want to do is to go straight to the project here. Select the project, and we need manage NuGet package. Click on manage NuGet package. What we're looking for is an object called OLDB. So make sure you select browse. Click on browse. Enter OLEDB, and there we go. That is it right there. Select this very one. I'm going to select the very first one. Make sure it's selected and click on install. There, it's now installing onto my system, and it's asking me to confirm. I'm going to click on OK. That is it. It's successfully installed onto my system, so I can now get out of there. So OLDB is officially within my system. The next thing we now want to do is we now want to import OLDB straight into the system itself. So right here, I'm now going to come right on top of my form, or right on top of the public class form. Okay, just double click on your form to get you there. Right at the top of public class form 1, right here. Now I'm going to start by saying import system dot data dot OLEDB. There, that is that done, imported. Now the next thing I want to do, right underneath the public class form 1, I'm going to declare the following variables that I intend to use. The first one is going to be, let's say, dim inner city as double. There we go. Now we need that of basic salary as well. The inner city wages is just kind of like some wage that you are given if you work in the city. Then the next one is basic pay. Now here I'm going to enter overtime. Then now the next one is going to be the tax. And followed by pension. Then after that, let's go for student loan. And NI payment. Let's change this to NI payment. Right. So we're going to need some other database, some other variable as well. I'm going to call that period that I will use for this period of payment as string. Then the date I will use that to calculate the period of payment as date. The months, I'm going to call that as integer. Now create some other objects. So this object is going to be for random number. Dim ran as new random. There, that is good. Now let's create some other one. The other one that we're going to create is going to be, let's say, dim. Let's put this right underneath here. Dim CMD as new OLEDB command. And I'm going to need that of let's say connect as new OLEDB connection. There we go. I think it's here. That is it. So those are all the database, those are all the variables and the object that I'm going to need for this system. Okay, all of them are taken care of now. Now I'm going to run the program and let you guys see just how everything looks, although nothing is happening just yet. That's how it's looking for now. So I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.